What's up, guys? It's Lightsprout here, and today I'm bringing you a farmable, or almost farmable Giants B10 speed team. The only non-farmable monster is Galleon, so I should have included that in the title. So, um, yeah, I need to remember to do that. But you can see here we've got Amir, Theo, Bernard, Sig, and Galleon. So other than Galleon, they're all completely farmable. Um, Now, Sig's fusion, I'm sure you know, Bernard, Nat 3, and it drops in the Timor Desert. And then the Ifrits you can get in the guild shop. So the Ifrits are going to be the ones that are the most time consuming, especially if you don't get these two at first. Like for me, I had to open six Ifrit scrolls before I got an Amir. So it took me a very long time to get a mirror. And so yeah, but that's going to be that. But these guys are easily replaced. I just made this because I know there's a lot of people that will say, oh, you can't make a Giants B10 speed team without a Lucian or without this, that, the other. And this is a team that's, other than Galleon, is farmable. I've seen people who can make Giants B10 speed teams without Galleon, but I can't. I tried a couple different teams and none of them worked. Well, none of them worked that were fast. Like I made teams that worked, but I couldn't get like a 1 minute 30-second team without Galleon. So I'll start the run now and I'll explain a couple things. So first of all, this team with the current runes that I have on it is about a minute and a half average run time. These guys do not have my best runes by any means. Um, what's it called? The Amir has pretty okay runes. The Sig's runes are kind of below average. Theo's ruined for PvP, so he's on like Will Shield Revenge, I think. So it's just not really ideal for a Giants team. Bernard, I gave my fastest Swift set to, which is fine. It works in this just okay. And Galleon is actually ruined for Giants, so or well for a couple of things, but he works fine in Giants. So in this team, first thing I want to mention is there is three leader skills to choose from. You got all three of these Nat fives and like right here, Theo, Sig, Amir. Uh, they've all got leader skills, and which one to pick? It kind of depends. I don't really recommend the HP one unless you don't need the other two, I guess. But the crit rate I actually could use because my Theo is missing about 10 crit rate and my Sig is missing about 10 crit rate. So the Theo leader skill would be nice to make sure everyone gets 100 crit rate. But I wanted to use the accuracy leader skill because my Bernard doesn't have any accuracy on him because I just gave him my fastest Swift runes. And so if you have the accuracy leader skill, then Bernard can land the attack break and you can survive like one hit basically. So on the boss edge, that is. So that's yeah, it's pretty nice. The other thing the accuracy leader skill does is it does make it so Sig can land the attack break more, but hopefully Bernard will be landing that anyways. As well as it'll make it so the dots from the two Ifrits land a little more if you do need them. Both of my Ifrits don't have any skill ups though, I believe. So the activation rate on the dot is pretty low, so I don't get a lot of dots anyways. But if I do get the activation of it, I'll likely land it. Because 41% accuracy leader skill is almost max in Giants. If you get 45%, that's max accuracy. But so as long as your monsters have 4% accuracy on them with Amir's leader skill, they'll have max. So Amir does make it quite a bit easier to land debuffs in Giants. So yeah, that's like the team. So the way that this team kind of like was inspired is this is close to the team I normally use, except normally I would use a Lucian where the Amir is and a Hua where the Theo is. So basically the Amir is just the Lucian replacement because a lot of people say you can't make Giants B10 speed teams without Lucians. So, or you can't make them super fast without Lucians at least. And so I took out Lucian, and I figured Amir was a good replacement because he's wind, he does AoE damage. He has two AoE damage skills just like Lucian, and he's farmable. And then Theo is just a good single target damage dealer. He doesn't really do what Hua does, but he does a lot of damage, so it works out. Um, Other things you could use with a Theo is that I've seen some people use is some people use Bark, the Wind Pirate Captain, and as kind of like I guess you would call it like a ghetto Hua kind of, because it'll do a lot of attack bar reduction, not as much as Hua, and it'll do more damage than Hua, and it'll defense break if your Galleon misses it. So I've seen some people put Bark in where the Theo is, and that might work pretty nice. Not sure. I don't have a Bark built. I have a couple that I farmed up, but I haven't even summoned them yet. Because I got there's a Hall of Heroes like 6 months ago or something for Bark, so I farmed up a couple of those and haven't used them. So you never know. I might be making a video on Bark sometime in the future, but I don't really have any plans on building him anytime soon. So don't expect that anytime soon, unless I get a bunch of comments saying that he's really good and I should build him. But so yeah, this team works pretty solid. I mean, like there's not too much to explain with in terms of like how this team works. It's just you've got Galleon for the attack buff and AoE defense break, and then you've got Bernard, who gives the speed buff, which is actually really important in this team to make sure you can kill the boss before he kills you. And he gives the attack break, which can make it so, like you can see, I can just barely survive one hit from the boss. Just hardly. And then I've got Sig, who's got an AoE damage skill, which also doubles as a single target damage skill on the boss stage. So Sig I like a lot in Giants, actually. And then Amir is your AoE damage for the first 4 stages, and Theo is your single target damage for the boss stage. So, yeah, it's a team that works pretty nice. I'll show you the runes really quickly. Here's the Amir. So he's got 2 skill ups. Right, third and first skill. He's on Revenge, Blade, Shield. Not really ideal, honestly. Probably you'd either want Fatal, Rage, or Violent if you're going to use him in Giants. And so, I don't know, I just have him on offsets. I'll tell you the stats to look for. I guess it could be noted that he's got 7 accuracy. So with the accuracy leader skill, he does have max to land the dots and stuns, but it doesn't land that much because I don't have him maxed. The other stats to note is he's got max crit rate in Giants because he gets the elemental advantage. He's got 161 crit damage. He's a little fast, which is important because he needs the speed to get turns, because if you don't get any turns, you're not going to kill a giant. And it's also good because the first skill scales on speed. And then you note the attack, which is actually very low. And then with this amount of HP and defense, it is enough for him to survive like 1 hit from the boss if there's an attack break. So I have him on speed, crit damage, attack. Like I said earlier, these runes aren't insane or anything. Like you can see the attack, I didn't even double the attack, but it works. So here's Theo, who's on Will, Revenge, Shield. 3 sets that are all more or less useless in Giants, but I don't have him ruined for Giants, so that's why he's on these runes. He's got 1 skill up in the first skill. Stats note, he's got max accuracy with the leader skill, the 150 crit damage. He's on 90 crit rate because of his passive, so he's missing 10 crit rate. Note the speed, because just like Amir, he scales with speed, and it's just important to get speed in all your monsters. And then he's got this amount of attack, and the HP is enough for him to survive like 1 hit from the boss. Well, he'll always be able to survive at least 1 hit because of this passive, but this will make it so maybe he can survive 2. So then here's my Bernard, who, like I said, is just ruined for as fast as possible. So like, you know, if you're ruining your Bernard specifically for Giants, it'd be better if you got him on 45 accuracy, so you could use a different leader skill. Like you could use the crit rate leader skill or the HP leader skill. But basically you want him fast, tanky enough to survive a couple hits, and preferably you'll get him on max accuracy. So then here's my Sig, who's on a Swift Blade. I mean, I guess not bad. Swift is kind of weak on Sig because his base speed's only 94. So ideally you would have like Fatal or something because he has a ton of attack power. So he's Fatal would benefit him a lot more. But my Sig actually is max skilled. With the accuracy leader, he's got max accuracy. He's got okay crit damage. He's actually missing 25 crit rate, so he could have really used that crit rate leader skill. Um, he's not that fast, but he's fast enough, and he can do enough damage, and he can survive. Actually, did he die from one hit? I don't remember. The Sig might have died, so, but that's his HP anyways. And then we've got Galleon, who's on Violent Energy. I think it's best to rune him as a damage build for a Giants team, but I've been messing around with him in Guild Wars, so I wanted him on a tank build. So, yeah, he's max skilled. It's important to have Galleon max skilled. He's got max accuracy with or without the leader skill. He's the fastest on my team, which is important because you want him to. He's the second fastest behind Bernard. But before your damage dealers, you want them to get attack buff before they go. And then he's a little tanky. So he's on speed, defense, accuracy. Oh, and I forgot to show Sig is on attack, crit damage, attack. Theo, speed, crit damage, attack. And then last, Bernard is just on speed, HP, HP. So, yeah, that's basically the team right there. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just tell me in the comments. As well as if there's any other videos you'd like to see, be sure to tell me in the comments, and I'll likely make that video pretty soon. But that's really all I have for today, though, guys. So may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows.